Hey everybody, welcome to Smashing Game Time. We are two brothers that go through gaming's back catalog of yesteryear. I am your host, Nick. As always, I am joined by my brother, Josh.
Good morrow to all.
Good morrow indeed. We've got an episode with just the two of us. We're going to be going through the games that we're playing. We're going to be talking a little bit of news. It's not as sad as the last few weeks have been. And then we're gonna end on a positive note. We're gonna say some things that we do like about video games right now, that we do like about the video game industry right now. Before we get into it, though, let's do the show stuff at the top of the hour. Let's see here. We've got we're available everywhere you get your podcasts: Apple, Spotify, YouTube Podcast, YouTube Proper, where you can see these wonderful faces. I'm wearing a muscle shirt, minus the muscles. Check it out. Fuck the algorithm, tell a friend. That's right. Word of mouth is king here. All my homies hate the algorithm. Fuck the algorithm. Josh, I don't know. Do you know what the upfronts are on TV?
What?
Do you know when I say that, hey, this week is the upfronts, do you know what I mean by that?
I have no idea, actually.
So the upfronts, I think they happen in New York. This is where the big network TV companies go and basically sell their fall schedule to the advertisers. So they come out and say oh, hey, this year we have Grey's Anatomy season 30 and we have 911 Lone Star and we have Abbott Elementary and we have Animal Control and we're moving Family Guy, and you get the point, right? And so it's them trying to sell ad space. And the reason I bring this up, I want to write in TV eventually, but between ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox, and I forget who the fifth one is. The fifth one CW, I'm guessing.
Probably.
They have five live action comedies between them,
which is
weird. Extremely low. Yes, Fox still has all their animated comedies, so that that will bring the comedy number a little higher. But as a comedy writer, I gotta say it's looking a little bleak.
Well, that's because everybody's into dramas right now. Let's face it, we're in the fads of obviously Grey's Anatomy is still really big to this day. I don't know how. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying I don't understand because I don't watch it. But then on the other side, you got murder mysteries where people want to watch people die.
Everybody wants their procedurals. Everybody wants their CSIs, their Law and Orders, their was it Brooklyn Blues? No, NYPD Blue. There it is.
I was about to say Blue Blood because that's still going.
Blue Blood. There it is. Blue Blood just ended though. I feel like they
they just have a new episode come out last week, I think.
Or maybe it's ending. I don't know. I know there's a long running something blood show ending or something.
I mean, it might be. It's got what's his name? Only reason I remember him is because he was at one point Monica's husband or boyfriend in Friends.
Oh, I couldn't tell you. I'd never seen. I've seen a few Friends. My Friends is How I Met Your Mother.
Oh, I agree 100%. But it's just one of those the only reason I remember Tom Selleck.
Tom
Selleck is the commissioner. Right?
Does he still got that great beard?
He's got, you mean mustache? And yes.
Mustache. I'm sorry. I'm getting my facial hairs mixed up. Which is the one that you ride on again? Which one do you ride on? Is it the mustache? It's the
mustache. Yes.
Okay, you ride the mustache.
He's 79 years old.
I mean, he looks good for 79. I'm not gonna lie.
This man was born about the same time World War II ended. He's a national treasure.
And now he's a blue blood or an NYPD blood.
He's been a blue blood.
He's a blue blood.
He's always been.
He's always been blooded American. It's sad because now you also look at Comedy Central's. Comedy Central doesn't even hold a candle up to anybody. They don't even get the roast anymore. Now they're going to Netflix.
Which I find ironically funny because I was actually just watching an episode of Key and Peele while I was folding the laundry, and it's the episode was when they did a skit of Jordan Peele meets his dad for the first time, and it's played by Michael Keegan, of course, and then they're talking, just interacting with each other, and he's like, "I think you're my dad," and he goes, "No, I'm definitely not your dad," and then he goes, "Man, I just I've been successful. I got my own TV show." And then he's like, "Oh, well, maybe you are my boy. It's just genetics." And then they're fighting, basically yelling at each other. And he goes, I finally get my own TV show on Comedy Central. Oh, Comedy Central, get the fuck out of here! It's just so unironically funny.
Yeah. Key and Peele was really good. I'd say that was probably their last good sketch show. Was that because there was the Inside Amy Schumer, which was and then there was the Kroll Show, which is also hit and miss.
I think Kroll Show was
before
but yeah, it was just before because it was like at the same time they had Tosh.0 going and they had Workaholics.
Didn't they? They had the Dimitri Martin show too, didn't they? They had like some kind of sketch show with him. Comedy Central really wanted sketch shows at one point, and I can't wait till we get back to that. Like, stand up right now is like $1 billion industry.
I know what the last good one was. Drunk History.
Drunk History was really good.
Drunk History was really good.
I don't know if I consider that a sketch show though. That was more of a dramatization.
I agree, but I also consider it sketch because just the way they presented it just seems very sketchy.
And they're reenacting them at the same time with actors. That's a really good show. Have you seen Smiling Friends yet on Adult Swim?
No, I have not.
It's just really weird. I forget the creator's name, but it's really weird little 15-minute. Like it's old school Adult Swim where it gets really weird. They mix the art styles. Like there'll be like a 3D modeled character and a puppet and a human and like a 2D cartoon guy. And it's just
is like one of them like a slug?
Yeah, he looks sluggish. He's like purple.
Does he at one point go into like a room full of like worms with like hoods on?
I don't know. I've only seen a few episodes.
I've seen bits of something. That might be what I'm thinking of.
There's one where a guy's trying to kill a bug and he falls into a hole in the wall, and it turns out there's a guy working in an office behind that hole in the wall, and the guy behind the hole in the wall is like, "Don't tell anyone I'm back here." And the whole first episode is them trying to get this guy to smile before he commits not alive.
Oh Jesus!
And the art is very like, think Ren and Stimpy, but just more gross. Like,
okay,
you know how gross Ren and Stimpy got.
Oh yeah, it was already up there. I was like, okay.
And these characters are just like, sometimes they're hard to look at. You're like, no, I don't want to look at you. Please get this character off my screen. But it's weird. It's chaotic.
I can't remember the show. It was a long time ago, and it was like one of their like 2:00 shows that came out. It was like towards the tail end before they did the repeat of their schedule.
It reminds me of like Squidbilly.
Okay, yeah. I was thinking of that. The way you're like saying how it gets like really weird, and they change it up. That I can't remember the name of it, but it was like this like Indian big nose guy who has like a snake hand.
Not Birdman. What is it? Now you've got me. I know what it is.
It's not Space Ghost if you bring that up.
I'm just gonna look up Adult Swim Alien Bird. Well, it gave me Bird Person.
Definitely not Bird Person.
I'm gonna find this show because I know exactly what you're talking about because I liked that show the few times I watched it.
It was just one of those shows where I feel like every time I saw it, I felt like I had to be high if I was gonna watch it and actually appreciate it.
It's not Robot Chicken. Here, let's run down the list. Aqua Teen Hunger Force, no. Rick and Morty, Robot Chicken, Eric Andre Show, Boondocks, Venture Brothers, check it out. Metalocalypse, Space Ghost, American Dad, The Brack Show, Off the Air, C-Lab, Squidbillies, Black Jesus, Bob's Burgers, I Remember Delocated, Eagle Heart, Home Movies, I'm getting a spam call, Samurai Jack, Ball Mats, it's not that one, it's not that one. Okay, so it's not in this list, so let's go to the Adult Swim website, because I know...
That's what I'm doing right now.
It's like called Arch Rival something, I think. Man, I'll tell you what, Adult Swim has a lot of bangers. The Heart She Holler, I forgot about that one.
I forgot about Delocated, that was pretty funny.
Mr. Pickles, China, Illinois was another good one. Man, I still need to go back and watch Primal. I started Primal. It was called... I'm not seeing it on here. Oh,
that's going to bother me.
No, we have to find this. We cannot move on until we find this.
Xavier. Yes, everyone, this is...
Xavier, Renegade Angel.
Xavier, yep, that's the one.
Yeah, he's a bird person. I don't know if he's
that show is
just perceived. I don't know if he's supposed to be perceived as Indian, but he's like a bird with like a snake hand.
Well, he's got like the traditional like
he's got the braid.
I forget what they call it.
He's got the braid.
He's got the braid, he's got the flute with the bear at the end of it. He's got the little, I can't think of the name of it. It's like a skirt basically that is traditionally worn by
Yeah, I don't know what that's called.
The Apache leaders. I can't think of the name of it now.
Oh, I forgot about Mike Tyson's Mystery Squad thing.
Oh, that was a good one too. Venture
Fucking,
Brothers.
fucking the Norm Macdonald is Pigeon.
Yep.
Great stuff. I might have to watch some Adult Swim. I'm streaming right after this. I'm streaming Iron Harvest because I've been lazy. Well, I'm busy, but
Mike Tyson. That's on Hulu. Just FYI.
it's on Hulu. I've been thinking
It's on
about
Hulu.
canceling Hulu, so I went through and canceled a bunch of subscriptions,
You can borrow mine.
and I probably canceled like $60 worth of stuff today.
You can borrow mine.
It felt good. So you know what I can't hold on real quick before we get into the games. You know what I canceled?
What?
I canceled. Well, I went in and canceled Fortnite Crew because I've been running that for a while. I was like, it has to go. So I canceled that. I canceled my PSN, which I've had since last summer because I was playing Street Fighter 6 and haven't touched it since like August. So that's been going. I canceled 2 Patreon podcasts that I like to listen to. And then what else did I cancel? Oh, my IMDb Pro because that was $20 a month and I'm not trying to pay that.
$20 a month?
Yeah. Just so I can go on and like find people's emails to try and contact them. And then I'm going to go in and cancel SiriusXM because I just don't listen to it anymore. But see, I used to be able to get that for $8 a month. And the trick is you go in, you call them, and you're like, hey, I'm canceling because I've got Spotify.
Yep. And they're like, well, hey, if you keep it for another year, we'll keep it that price.
The person's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Like they're trying to talk you off the bill. You're like, whoa, 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 whoa. Hey, step back. We'll give you SiriusXM for $8. We'll give you SiriusXM for $8. Step back. Come on.
As a former retentions employee for AT&T, I completely understand what that guy was going through.
I remember canceling. I know I keep telling stories and saying we're gonna get to the games, but I remember canceling DirecTV when I was living in Illinois. I canceled it and we were done. We were fucking done. We'd hit our 2-year contract. I was done. And I called to cancel and they're like, well, are you sure? Like we can give you some good bundles. Like
we'll give you the gold package, which comes with Skinamax for $35.99 plus everything else they're already paying for.
Right. And so I tell them, no, I'm canceling. I'm done. And they're like, okay, like we'll put you in touch with someone to schedule your thing, which is bullshit because they should have scheduled me with someone right then and there. But they're like, okay, we'll schedule someone to come out and turn it off. Took them 4 weeks to do that. And then after they turned it off, somebody called, I got charged $150 so they still had my info because somebody came out to try and reinstall me. And I got called like once a week for 6 months about getting back onto DirecTV. It was harassment. It's like I broke up with them.
No, breakup goes much easier than that. They don't charge you money like that.
Oh, I got that money back. I told them I was gonna hunt them down. I said some shit I'm not proud of.
I've got a particular set of skills. Make people like me a nightmare.
I was a much angrier gentleman in my late 20s or my mid 20s. But I let them have it. I was like, no, this is fucking like I felt like I was being hurt. I felt like they were trying to gaslight me into needing cable. Like, oh baby, like you need me, like you do nothing with, like no, fuck off DirecTV.
Charter's not reliable.
Fuck you DirecTV. Fuck you Charter. Fuck all these fucking streamers that are bundling. Like I'm getting PTSD from my experience. Hey,
be careful now. Comcast is bundling all of the like HBO, Netflix, and Disney, I think it is.
My understanding of that is that's only available to you if you're a Comcast customer.
Yeah.
So like, my thing is like, okay, I'm just gonna go get all those things separate because I don't fuck with you, Comcast.
But you can't get all of them at a very discounted price. They don't even have the price. They're very discounted. What the fuck does that mean?
Oh, but I can, Josh. It's called borrow someone's password until they shut that spigot off.
I mean, who said they were going to do it and they still haven't done it yet? So even though we got the email saying like, oh, starting this day,
I'm waiting for Disney Plus to do it because we're on a friend. So we're on a friend who doesn't live in the country's account, but on the other side of the world, Disney Plus is called something else. So I wonder how that's going to work.
I mean, at the rate we're going, I'm just going to still keep my shit, put my shit on a VPN that matches someone else's address, and then just fucking still use it and not get charged for it because they can suck my dick as far as I'm aware.
I mm, 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 mm. I do I pay for Max? No, I don't pay for Max. So the only ones I pay for are Netflix and Hulu. So then I'm gonna lose everything else.
So I've got Amazon, Hulu, Crunchyroll.
But I also think like because a bunch of them had like a bunch of like, oh, if you buy a phone through us, you get Max for
Yep.
free. So I think I have a Max that I'm not paying for. As long as
Probably AT&T because T-Mobile did. They did Hulu Disney, I
what
think.
am I? I don't even know anymore because I was Sprint and then we got bought by T-Mobile. So I don't even know. I don't even know, man. I have no idea.
Wait, you just got a new phone, right?
Well,
Not recently, but within the past year.
timeout, Chief. So when I lived in North Carolina, the only thing we could have was Verizon because everything else sucks shit in the mountains.
Right, I remember that.
And then we moved to Chicago, and Verizon was so fucking expensive that we switched to Sprint. And then Sprint got bought by T-Mobile like 2 months later.
How's that time? Jesus.
Yeah, so it's been about 7 years, and then I just got this phone last year, there a few months ago, because
That's what I
my
said. So you have to like know what you had to go to the store to get it, unless you buy it online. Which even then you have to have known.
my iPhone. So I was rocking an iPhone 8 for almost 10 years. I had it for almost 10 years. 3 more years, I would have hit 10.
I was right behind you. I think I had mine for 7 before I finally replaced it.
I miss the fuck out of my home button. Okay,
I do too. I miss it too.
I miss it. I miss the crunch. I miss the.
I don't miss the crunch. I just miss being able to do this. Instead, now I have to fucking, especially in the fucking first thing in the morning. I'm like, ugh.
When I'm just trying to see the updates on my phone, when I'm trying to like,
Yeah, it's annoying.
yeah, it's annoying. It's fucking annoying.
All right, that's our
That's our catch up.
Yes.
If you couldn't tell, we wanted to chat. I actually like doing those like catch ups at the beginning because sometimes I just want to be like fuck off video games for a minute. You know what I mean?
and it's like we've talked about nothing but terrible shit for the past like feels like forever with the gaming industry.
All right. Do you want to go first on these games or do I?
Yeah, I'll go first because mine's like gonna be super quick. I really haven't had much time to play this week. And what I have played, everybody, has been nothing but basically time killing and achievement hunting. So Spyro Reignited. I 100%ed Spyro 1 finally. I went through, I'd done all the collection stuff. I was just going through and cleaning up the achievements for it. So I did that all done, and I started Ripto's Rage, which my one new pet peeve right now, and it's just because it's been a long time since I played Ripto's Rage. I probably need to go back and watch the original videos they had on it. It is not, or at least it doesn't appear to have aged well. Like I don't know if it's because they did new voice actors for it, because it seems like it.
So I've played Ripto's Rage recently with Gus, and Ripto's Rage. Yeah, it feels like the camera's weird. I don't like the way the characters look in the remake.
Hunter is the weirdest thing of all. Like I don't like the way he looks.
It's almost uncanny valley. It's like you look too like I need you to be more cartoony.
You're too polished, motherfucker. You need to like go back, go back a couple polygons.
Ripto and the Goat Girl also look kind of weird.
Yes,
I don't like, and I wish I don't think because I don't think Crash Bandicoot had this either. But I like it when those games that are like touch ups of older games have the option for you to hit the button to show.
Like Halo does.
Yeah, like Halo.
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk about it later, but Braid has it. Just about any game that's doing that has that, and I always appreciate it.
Yeah, it was very weird. I was just like, oh, I mean, like, I remember the cutscenes before and after every time you enter a world. Those looked fine. Those looked the same. I didn't notice much of a difference. But the very first scene with all the protagonists and Ripto there with his two, his bride or his beast, just looked really fucking weird. I'm like, and then I hear Hunter talk, and I'm like, that's definitely not. I remember Hunter's voice distinctly, him and Spyro, and Hunter does not sound the same or look the same. That is not my Hunter.
And swimming is really a pain in the ass in that game too.
It wasn't as bad as I remembered it, but yeah, it is a little finicky in spots. I don't remember the in air, like you can flap your wings to just go a little bit far, or get a little bit higher.
I'm doing it with my hands, right? The flutter.
Yes,
I didn't remember that either. I felt like that was something they added,
which is nice. I liked it a lot because it definitely helps in some spots, but I need to get a little more into it to remember it. There's just some things I'm like, oh, I distinctly remember this, and there's some of it I'm like, God, it's been a long time. Am I that old that I don't remember this?
It's a rough collection. I do think Crash Bandicoot probably aged a little better.
Oh, I think Crash Bandicoot's right. As if I'm going to do it with side by side comparisons, Crash Bandicoot has me as number one because one was like one I barely played, but I played enough to remember all of it. And I was like, oh yeah, it's decent, it's good. And then two is just perfect.
I think what Crash did different from Spyro is that Crash really leaned into the difficulty aspect, and they really made jumping like a pain in the ass.
Well, they made platforming in general a pain in the ass, and that's I think one of the best parts.
Whereas Spyro's more of a collectathon, like, oh hey, that red,
Collect all the gems,
you're missing
get
a
all
gem.
of the gems,
and they do a lot of mini games, which aren't the most challenging. Like I played the. Did you play the ice hockey one yet?
Yep, I've done that one.
That one was fun. I wanted to do the one with the turtles, like where you're trying to keep them from going into the soup.
I have not done that one yet.
It's a very early one. You could play it in the PS1 demo right away, but in the actual retail game, you couldn't play it until you learned.
No,
how
you
to
had to
climb
get
a
the climb ladders, which I haven't learned apparently.
Moneybags is somewhere waiting for you to pay up.
Yeah, he is. I got it. I think it's because I skipped a bunch of stuff because I was collecting shit and got into a spot I wasn't supposed to get into yet.
Hey, Spyro, my boy, do you want me to teach you how to climb ladders? It's a skill that the elite rich have learned, and I can teach you for a little gems.
Give me 1,500 gems and I'll teach you how to put your two front hooves up there.
Oh, you ain't got thumbs? Oh, I can't teach you. No refunds.
No, he has thumbs, just not imposable thumbs.
His thumbs just look like regular fingers. I wonder. I didn't really spend a lot of time with Year of the Dragon. I wonder if Year of the Dragon will clean it up for you.
We'll see. I remember only playing the beginning of it, and I think it's because we had maybe it was a bootleg version. I know we had a version of it when we were kids. I just don't remember playing it as much.
I think we got
I remember
it
playing the shit out of
after
those Rage.
we got it after getting a PS2, and so by that time we were over
done.
PS1 games.
We were Andy to they were our Woody to our Andy. I don't want to play with you anymore.
Just dropping it in the trash can. I think Hunter's in that one, so be careful.
He is. He's in it for a long time up until the split off where like you play between Spyro and the other dragon, I think.
I was gonna say, is that the one? Is that where they started to like split off and like, okay, you play as Hunter.
That's where
you play as that guy or that guy.
Yeah, so they had that, and then they had the two Spyro and the other dragon. And then they shift off into Skylanders, basically.
Fucking Skylanders. That was a dark time.
That was a dark time.
What is AfterImage?
So AfterImage is a Metroidvania that I picked up. It was on sale on CD keys for like $2. And I was like, you know what? I want to play some more Metroidvanias, and went ahead and just picked it up. It's like $2. Why not? It's a hand-drawn 2D action adventure. I'm reading this from the thing because I hadn't played enough to like get into like the story. But
this is anime, Josh.
Yeah, that's fine. Emphasizes fast-paced combat with a diversified character builds, non-linear levels, and a gripping story set in the ruins of a fantasy world. And by far, I'm already actually kind of impressed with how it looks. It just released 1 year ago. It was actually April 25th of 2023, developed by Oregon Shanghai and published by Maximum Entertainment. Beautifully done. The combat is pretty fluent. You have different fighting styles with each weapon. The enemies are diverse. Oh yeah, it's a fantastic game. I'm enjoying it so far.
I'm on a screen right now that has like cherry blossoms dropping, and like there's a full cherry blossom tree in the background. Yeah, I mean it's giving me what's the 9 years of Shadow, but like better.
See, I also picked up 9 Years of Shadow for $2. So these are my when I'm away or if I'm on my Steam Deck away.
I was gonna say this looks like a good Steam Deck game.
Yep, I've been playing this on the Steam Deck, and 9 Years of Shadow will be on that list as well eventually. But for $2 per game, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and pick these up because why not?
See what 9 years of so I mean I played 9 Years of Shadow this time last year. My issue with 9 Years of Shadow is the whole premise of the game is, hey, we've taken all the color out of the world, and you have to get the color back, and you beat one boss, and the world is immediately recolored everywhere. And I was like, wait a minute. No, that was like, it was still a beautiful game and it was cool, but I was like, no, I thought I was getting each of the colors one by one.
See, and that's what I would have expected too, is each boss is pertained to one color, and once you kill them, then that color comes back to the world. But things that are that color are the only things that are colored, not, just,
and
singular color.
And then having the color be something that also gives you access to new areas. So like, oh, hey, I could only climb this object when it was red. Well, now that it's red, I can actually climb on it. So here I go.
Yeah. No, that
Like,
sounds like yeah, that sounds like the whole premise right there.
but it does play really well. It has more of an old like Castlevania vibe to it.
Which I like.
But yeah, but you're gonna have to let me know how it runs because it crashed like a motherfucker every time I played it. So you're gonna have to let me know.
Yeah, I'll let you know. But yeah, that was the two games I played because other than that, it's been a crazy week. But Nick, there is something I wanted to bring up because I know you told me uh, if I ever did this, you would kill me, and I think it's my time to go. I'm sorry, you would unalive me. We gotta correct this. So there
Murder's
was one.
okay. Murder's okay.
Murder's okay. Okay. So there was one thing in particular you said that if I ever got into this, you would be very upset with me. Do you remember what that is?
I've said that a lot about stuff.
It's a form of entertainment. We used to do it for a long time in high school. Picked back up kind of
Are
in.
you writing erotica again?
No, not that. The other thing we all did as a group. We went to tournaments and
Oh,
we
you're
played
playing
against each other.
Magic or Yu-Gi-Oh? Which one?
Neither.
Pokemon.
I'm collecting.
Let me see. Let's see the goods. Oh my god, those cards are so. Wait, that's not Pokemon.
No,
What is that?
this is Universes. This is Crunchyroll's card game. It's My Hero Academia.
Crunchyroll has a card game.
Yep.
Well, I'm stealing all of those and selling them.
Oh, these aren't even the best ones. This is just I'm
That's
collecting.
that's your extras full binder.
Nick. I mean, I got hardcore into them where I have them
All right,
double covered.
all right? I'm giving you a minute to talk about this. What's the engine of your deck that you're currently running? And are you going to are you going to
Oh,
tournaments?
I'm not playing this, Nick. I'm just collecting.
Oh, you're just why aren't you
Yeah.
playing? Like that's the fun and you've got them in stuff that you should be you can play them. That's part it's a game. It's a game.
Nick, this card alone, just guess how much it's worth.
Well, I can barely see it. Hold it down.
Well, if I hold it down, then you can't.
What is it? What's it called?
It's repeated 100% smash. It's a scene from one of the episodes.
And how much is this card worth?
$30.
Whoa!
I said it's one of them. There's a handful of them here that are more expensive than that. I just want to put that one out.
Hold on, I'm getting my fucking Black Lotus out. Hold on.
I just one day I was just like going through a site and I saw a bunch of them on sale and I was like, I'll pick up a pack. And
Now you're not collecting them in hopes of making money back, right?
no, it's more of a nostalgia and just like I keep seeing like on TikTok the live feeds of like people like opening card packs and stuff. I'm like, well, I want to get into something that's like not super expensive and not really difficult. And I did some research and like it was either between this or there was a Dragon Ball one they have, but apparently the Dragon Ball one's like a lot more harder and costs more. And I was like, well, let me try this just to get into it, to say I've done it. And I'm not gonna lie, it's addicting.
Now you've got to watch it out with those those open streams because I know those got really big during COVID, and like our good friend Anthony, he used to watch a lot of those on. I think there's a trading card site that has like streams that do this.
Yes.
It's not even on like they'll do it on Twitch, but they have their own special sites, and just watch out for that shit.
Oh no, I'm not like, I'm gonna buy these cards from them or I'm gonna take their advice from them. I just kept seeing the videos and I'd be like, I want to get into it. I just want to see what the hype is. And I honestly see what the hype is now.
Just never spend more than you can afford.
No.
I say that as a man who just started collecting comics. Like have a plan. My whole plan is any money I make from hard drive for writing for hard drive, I can use for comics. And that's every dime spent on these comics behind me, which you can't see on camera. Hard drive. Thank you, harddrive.net.
Yeah, I need to find a website I can write for them. I'll pay me like that.
It's not like I'm not making buku dolores, but I'm making
No, but it'd be
comic
nice to have
books money.
it'd be nice to have some I'd be able to like, want to go across some poor people and shake my pocket change.
You hear those quarters? You hear those quarters? Those are my quarters.
That's the parking meter.
What the fuck is wrong? You know what I'm gonna go get? I'm gonna go get trading cards. See you, losers.
I just want to go in, shake it in front of them, have like watch their hopes get up, walk into the trading card store right in front of them, go in, buy a pack of cards, come out, and just write slowly in front of them.
You sick fuck. You know, if you at least take them to buy some trading cards. You sick motherfucker.
I'll tell them if I find one that's worth 50 cents, they can have it.
You sick fuck. All right, Well, you got to sell it. No. You're cut off. You're cut off. All right. What's Nick been playing? So I'm still playing Pepper Grinder. That is my new go-to anytime Gus wants to play a game. I think Pepper Grinder is going to be on my top 10 of the year. It's getting up there. It's just one of those games that feel like it's one of those games where it's like, oh, I got 20 minutes. Like where a lot of people are with Balatro, that's me with Pepper Grinder right now. And I'm like, I have 20% of the game left to go through, like for 100% completion, but it's a good game. It feels good. It's fluid. Yeah, it's just a good fucking game. What else have I been playing? I streamed some Iron Harvest last week. I held up my promise for the most part. Actually, after this episode, after I'm done uploading the episode, I'm going to hop back in and do some more Iron Harvest tonight. Gonna finish up the Polania campaign. I was worried because I really haven't committed to playing that game in a long time. So I was really worried I was gonna like be complete ass at it. And I'm not that bad. Like, don't get me wrong. If I jumped into a multiplayer game, I would get spanked so hard. But no, the campaign's a lot of fun. I'm bashing my way through it. 2 levels left in Polania. And then I'm going to jump into Rushviet, which is my least favorite of the campaigns, just because, I don't know, there's just a bunch of stealth in it. And there's some of my least favorite mechs in the game just to play around with. And I can't wait for Saxony, though. That probably won't be till the end of May, but the Saxony mission, the missions in that fucking campaign. And then Usonia is really good, too. And then Rushviet Revolution's okay. It's better than the regular Rushviet missions. And we should have gotten more. Oh, we should have gotten more fucking DLC from that game. King Art Games, you fucking broke my heart. No, you guys made a good game. Can't wait to see what you're doing next. Hopefully, I have more Iron Harvest.
Probably not.
I mean, that game was my identity for the better part of COVID. Right?
It was even before COVID, right?
Well, here's the crazy. So the game comes out September 2020. So about 4 years ago. COVID hits March 2020. I have a kid July 2020. So I say that like my identity was Iron Harvest during much of COVID, which it was through most of 2021 as well. And I had a fucking kid in that time frame. Shouldn't I be saying like, no, I became a dad in COVID. My identity is dad.
No, it's a dead game. Iron Harvest.
Dead game, Iron Harvest. Well, I'm going to get back into it. No, I'm surprised. I have a video on YouTube. One of my multiplayer matches. I think I've literally called it "This Match Broke My Brain," and 14K views across the last 2 years on it. And it's actually a fun game to sit down and watch. I might actually sit down and watch that for a stream. Like put my head over my old head and just watch it. That would be a fun stream. It's a good fucking match. I think the guy I played in that match, I think his name was Erect Penis.
Yes. Yes.
I have a lot of good memories associated with that game. A lot of like people that I associate with that game that I consider friends. Hell, one of them just graduated. I was on Instagram and I saw that he just graduated college, and I was like, "Oh my god, it's been that fucking long." I met the guy when he got into college. What the fuck?
Nick, the game is basically about to go to its first year of school.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. And all this is just reiterated how much I would love to option the 1920 plus property for TV and film. So, hey, Jacob Rosalski. Is it Jacob Rosalski? Hold on. I have to get his name right if I'm gonna ask him.
Dan Schneider.
What'd you say?
Dan Schneider.
No, get that fucking. More allegations came out about him, by the way.
Did it really?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
It was this time. It's from Mary Beth Deeren.
The name sounds familiar.
She's the bigger girl. Did they do a lot of fat jokes with her? I don't remember.
I mean,
I feel
surprised.
like 1990s.
I mean, they definitely did with what's his name, who's on the part of the SNL cast.
Jacob Rosalski. I was right. Jacob Rosalski. Jacob Rosalski, if you're listening, give me the rights. Give me the rights. I demand them. I demand them. I don't demand them. I would like to talk to your people. My people will talk to your people. We can make some money. We can do some cool things with it.
Even the next 5 Nights at Freddy's.
Even better. No, you thought the Fallout show was really good? We can do a 1920 plus show and fucking make it bananas, dude. Fucking call me. You got my phone number. I know you do. Josh, you know Mary Beth. I'm not gonna pull a picture. If you type in all that Mary Beth, you'll be like, oh yeah, that lady. He's looking. He's looking. I'm gonna cover this dead air.
Okay,
right here.
yeah. I remember. Yeah.
I remember she was in Dodgeball.
Was she really?
She was the cheerleader that fell on Justin Long.
Ah, I remember her.
Again,
Okay,
this early 2000s, so fat shaming was like
still okay.
Still. Why are you saying still okay? Like you look back fondly at it.
Because I still remember my middle school nickname, and that was about the same time, Nick.
What was your middle school nickname?
Big Lots.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Who called you Big Lots?
I don't remember exactly who started it, but it eventually got coined into the friends group.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. They're all deadbeats and or dead. So
I was gonna say I've never called you Big Lots. I used to call you Kmart, but that was for a whole different reason.
Yeah, because I was a klepto back in the day. For those who aren't aware, that was my first time, the first taste.
See, I don't think I ever had any mean nicknames. In middle school up in North St. Louis, I was called Big Head, White Ice, White Icing.
Hopefully the ladies were calling you white icing.
No, this was just random dudes.
The bigger black eyes, white icing.
It was sixth grade. I guess that was when everyone was starting to go through growth spurts. So there might have been some bigger guys than me. But I was a big dude. I remember a friend one time. There was a girl that I really liked, and she didn't like me. And so for some reason, I thought it would be cool to wad up a piece of paper and put glue in it and throw it at her. And she got all up in my face. And then one of my friends, did he tackle her or did he like push her? I don't know what he did, but
he did something.
I didn't know we were tight like that. And I was like, oh shit, I have friends. I was that much of a loser that I was surprised that someone was defending me.
I remember my first crush.
I was like, oh, they like me. Yeah, I like the youth pastor's daughter, and she hated me.
I still look at the babysitters and go, damn.
Oh, no, not the babysitters, Josh. Not the babysitters.
The babysitters.
Let me get to my last game so then we can get to the news before things get weird in here. Last game I've been playing is Braid Anniversary Edition. Guys, if you played Braid in 2008, you've played Braid in 2004. This version got a little bit of paint, so now there's some cool. So like when I almost called him Doug. When Tim turns, like his hair kind of frolics. You can tell the differences. And again, the game has that ability to switch from new graphics to old graphics at the snap of a finger. It also does it with the music and the animation. So it's really cool. Like there's a room early on. I think it's the one where you have to hop on 6 enemies to open the door. And they actually do a little commentary about it. But in the old version with like the TV formats, you had a little less of the border around the wall. And since it's changed, so like when you change to like the new version, the new graphics, there's a bigger border because they're able to do it. They're able to do it on this format of TVs, whereas they weren't able. So like your camera will I think it pulls out a little bit when you go into the newer version. And so the game has commentary everywhere. You basically just walk over a bubble and they start talking. You can fast forward, you can rewind. You have to stay in the area where it plays. So you have to stay in like the big room or else it'll stop playing, which I think is crazy. I just let it run. In fact, give me an option to where it'll just loop through the whole thing. This is a 2-hour game, Josh. You can beat this game in 2 hours, right?
Yeah,
they have 15 hours of commentary in this thing. 15 hours.
Yeah, that's
15 hours.
That's no for me, dog.
They've also got some additional puzzles, puzzle rooms. So some of them are just rooms with like commentary. Others are just like concept puzzles that they were testing out. So that's cool. I'm writing that review. That review should be out soon. By the time you hear it, might be out. You know what? Don't hold me that. It might be out by Thursday. We'll see. I was surprised because I think so. We're recording on the 14th. This came out on the 14th. I was surprised I didn't see more reviews for it. I mean, I've already got my mind made up on what I'm going to say about it, but I always like to, like when the window comes down, I'm like, oh, what are other people saying? And I haven't seen any. Like I guess maybe not everyone got the review copies. Maybe some people were in Braid jail. Who knows? All I know is I was on Steam earlier just to see, like, you know how like Steam will say the game comes out today, and then you get on the day of, and it's like the game comes out in like 3 hours actually. So I was trying to see when it actually released because I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to talk about it yet. But now that I know it's out, I'm here. And also the Steam reviews are total trash. Not just this, but I was looking at a handful of reviews on some other games, and everyone in there is a goddamn comedian.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like I think Letterboxd is to blame. Do you know what Letterboxd is?
No.
It's the goddamn movie review site where people can have a page and they review movies, and most people just fucking do it for the LOLs. You know why I know that? Because I did one for the LOLs. Do you know the Banshees of Inisherin?
Yeah.
You've seen that movie?
I've seen it, yeah.
So the review I wrote was, man fingers friend's donkey, friend gets mad. It's a bad website, Josh. It's a bad...
Well, I mean, I could have told you that people who are habitual Steam reviewers are assholes. They're not there to give you like their honest opinion. They're like, hey guys, I highly recommend this game because of this, and this, and I've got 100 plus hours. They have 20 minutes in it, and they're like, oh, they don't have the one thing that I kept saying I wanted, even though since day one they said I'll never get it. This game is trash. Or they'll complain that, oh, it's a brand new multiplayer game and I can't even get into the servers. Well, shit, maybe get better internet, you cheap bitch.
Well, and the thing that kills me is the amount of people that go through and will like say, I found this review helpful, for a review that isn't helpful at all.
Yes.
Like this one I'm looking at. Oh, I see you're a man of culture as well. 30 people found this review helpful. 7 found this review funny.
See, the funny is fine. You could mark it as funny if it is funny, because that is funny. But helpful? Are you mentally... No, because that is degrading those people who have a mental disability, because those people are 10 times smarter than the people who do this.
No, these people have a thing where all they do is meme. Like if you tried to have a real conversation with them, they would quote The Hangover as you were trying. Like if
they're neckbeards.
If you were like trying to be like, hey dude, like I'm having a really hard time, and they'd be like, there's Skittles in there.
Nick, have you seen the TikTok video of the neckbeard anime openings?
No, what are these?
It's a bunch of like weeb and like basically just think of like when you think of a neckbeard and you think of like weebs, so like people who are hardcore into it. Take that concept, but then put it. You've seen an anime opening before, right?
They're very like the camera's spinning really fast. One's like this, and then like
okay, so yeah, you're at least familiar with it. But but then they just start to introduce like the characters,
like they do like the turn
stuff like that. Yeah, that is basically what it is. But it is for the weebs and the neckbeards. It is.
Are they doing it ironically or unironically?
Someone's making fun of them for it.
Okay.
They were like recordings of like them doing different videos or like they're like live streaming or something, but somebody actually like put it to like anime music with their own openings. Man, I'll show you the video. I'll show you the video later. It's pretty funny because then it gets at the end of it goes straight into like the comment section, and it's like all these joke anime names calling them fat neckbeard weebs, basically.
Josh, you would consider yourself a weeb at one point, right?
Yeah, I mean I'm not like so.
At one point.
Yes, I would say maybe like towards the end of high school, early college, I would definitely say I was probably more of a weeb. But I would never say to the extent of like, I'm not going to go out in public and be like do weird ass fucking shit, wear a fedora.
Ooh wee.
Ooh wee. Or the fucking ooh. Yeah. I don't get me wrong. I ogle some of the drawings that the people do for anime because first off, if they're going to show them, of course I'm going to look. I'm fucking watching for the plot. I'm not watching for anything else.
I'm a man, damn it. Look at those pencil lines.
I'm
a man.
I was promised big titties, and I didn't get them, God damn it.
What? I was going to say, what drives them to the perversion? Like, what's Like,
they can't get actual girls, and they have this fantasy of. I think the biggest fantasy is they're like, oh, I want to for like this typical like slice of life Japanese animes. They're like, oh, I want a Japanese girl like that. I want a Japanese girl in a uniform, but they can't get an actual girl here in America. That's that fascination. And as far as fantasy goes, I really couldn't tell you. I think it's just the way they're drawn and they're attracted to them. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that I don't find some of it that they do like not attractive to be like, oh, I'm gonna ogle and just be all over like Stellar Blade. Like, it's nice, it looks nice. Like, I might compliment it for a second, but I'm not being like, I'm gonna go talk about it on all these blogs and tell all my friends like, you gotta watch because the boobs are big and they jump up and down. If I want all that shit, all I have to do is go upstairs and buy her another ring. And guess what, guys? Open closed.
Jesus Christ, I hate
Am
you.
I wrong?
I hate you
Am I-
sometimes. I hate you
Am I wrong?
sometimes.
Am I wrong,
So basically your summary is before you went and said that your wife would do that for a ring, another ring.
as a joke, we love each other.
You were joking. You love your wife, but it all comes back to, hey, I can't have a woman over here, so I'm gonna have this fictionalized woman and
Right.
infantilize, whatever the term is, and it's a power thing. Like, they only like anime because it's someone they perceive as not powerful.
It's more perceived of maybe someone who would like them for who they are. It's like they want to be the knights. They want the white knights, but they don't want to put the work into it. They think they can just show up and not put in. Everybody thinks they're Goku, right?
Is there
Everybody.
is there an anime? Is there an anime where like a Bulma character is beating up on the weeb ass Yajirobe's? Like, is there an anime like that?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There's
Where the bad guy, like, I want an anime where like the bad guys are the weebs. Can you find me that anime? Why is my camera's acting up?
I can find you that anime. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Find me an anime where the heroine, what is that, heroine? The hero is beating up on weeb villains. I want that. That's the world I want to live in.
I can do that.
Because I need the weebs to understand that they're not the good guys.
They're not, I mean, there's some that probably are really nice people and like just maybe like the culture, but beyond that, majority of them are fucking weird.
So it's socialized, and I get it. That's hard for people. That's hard. That's going to be hard for some people, but there are ways to practice that. Shower, yes, and deodorant, yes. And I say this from a loving place. Like, I used to go to Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments, and that place smelled atrocious.
Yes, but you also, even though we didn't really have a father in our life, or our mom was too much of a bitch to actually teach us.
Okay. This isn't therapy hour. This is
I know,
a fucking podcast.
But there's people out there who have both and are like, oh, I'm not going to put on deodorant or take a shower at least once even once a week. That, like, no, I'm just not going to shower ever because I smell like fucking roses. No, you don't. You smell like ass. Take that shower. Use that bar deodorant.
You smell like butt. That's enough. We've
I don't even know what started that conversation.
I was talking about Braid. We got you know what started it? We were talking about the Steam reviews and Dorkass Dorks. Right. And Dorkass Dorks led us to weebs for some reason.
Because they're all weebs.
They're all weebs. Josh, thank you for sharing what you've been playing and for all the weeb culture. Josh is our weeb correspondent. Thank you, Josh, for reporting on that. Speaking of reporting, you got any news for us?
Read all about it. Latest football scores. Morning paper. Morning Star. Paper, mister?
It's time for old news.
Oh, I've got plenty of news, and it's all good. Well, majority of it's good news, I would say. Nothing too terrible. Starting out, leaks reveal upcoming Fortnite live event. This is a GameRant article written by Ashley Cladino. Yeah, that's good enough.
Thanks, Ashley.
Appreciate it. So with the Chapter 5 Season 2 end of season event is just around the corner. And it looks like I already lost it, and I just remember reading this.
Here, I'll take this.
Please, yes, it's your thing.
So the season's ending. Pandora's box and Zeus. Something's gonna happen with the gods. This is probably the least I've played of Fortnite in the last 2 years. I will say this season kind of hasn't been hitting for me. I don't know, like the mobility's good, the weapons are good. I'm not a fan of the snipers personally myself. But I don't know. Like I remember when I heard about this season and how excited I was about the the mythology and all the gods being in it, and it just never really paid off. Like I never felt like I was a god. Now I remember when it first came out, and like I remember there was a clip of someone using angel wings, shooting up, shooting back down, shooting someone out of the sky. It looked really cool. It just isn't really hitting for me. Now the post-apocalyptic theme coming up for season 3, I think there's some Mad Max stuff in there hinted. That looks cool as fuck. I cannot wait to check that out. Um, I think the other thing, if people are like really worried about like the lore of Fortnite, and it does feel like they haven't really been building towards anything and really working the myth and the mortals into this season at all. But I also feel like Fortnite's kind of gotten away from their events. Like there used to be like, oh hey, check in and you're gonna do this cool thing where you're in a spaceship and you're all shooting at stuff, or you're all gonna watch the world blow up together. And there's been less of that, and I feel like that's been an Epic thing. I mean, Epic's had layoffs in the past year. I mean, they had Bandcamp and then they didn't have Bandcamp. Who knows what's going on in there? Our uncle works at Epic, so we should probably ask him, right?
The V-Bucks just aren't bringing what they used to bring.
I-
They're not worth the same.
I just canceled my crew thing for the first time in like 2 years.
You're costing the money, Nick. You're the reason why we can't get anybody good.
Hey, sorry. What's next?
Next, coming up, Ghost of Tsushima will be playable on Steam Deck, but there's a catch. This is a GameSpot article written by Darren Bunthus?
You got me on that one, I think.
Oh, man. I am apologizing.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Darren.
so thank you, Darren. So essentially, we're coming up on the Steam release of Ghost of Tsushima on the tail ends of the whole Helldivers 2 debacle of PSN sign-ins being required, then not being required, and then them basically silently canceling the sale and refunding from 177 countries that can't, which is now also affecting the sales for Ghost of Tsushima, because those 177 countries that were banned from being able to purchase Helldivers 2 can't purchase Ghost of Tsushima. They're actually getting refunds for this game as well. So now they're saying basically like, okay, yeah, so it's going to be able to run on Steam Deck. However, it's only going to be for the single player campaign and the Icky Island expansion.
That's weird.
Yeah. I don't understand it either. I assume it's because it's on Linux and it's not a Windows device. And that's kind of what they hint at in the article as well. But it's just weird at that point. Like, why? I understand to an extent why they want people to sign in, but at the same time, why does it matter? Like, I wish we could find an exec who, or somebody who has the knowledge of that to explain it to us. Like, answer these questions, because it's just very. It's very. Well, you would think if that's the case, wouldn't you make more money on the sale of the game? Like,
not just this, but your data. They want your data. They can't collect their data if you're not signed into PSN. If you don't have a PSN account, they can't do anything. The data's not in the house behind you, Josh.
No, I know it's not in the house behind me. I'm just sitting here like, is our data worth that much?
Yes, it is.
I'm just curious at that point. It's like, it makes sense from like an internet provider's perspective. It makes sense from a like Amazon, who sells everything from the ground up. But for a company that's strictly entertainment, and at this point, it's only going to be strictly for gaming. What benefits do you get from our data? And even then, like, I'm just saying, like, as far as that goes, like, are you? I know, Nick. I know this. I know they can sell it. They
can look at playtime. They can look at. I mean, they have all these different metrics that they're tracking.
Then just ask Steam to let us connect, like they already do, and just use that. Why can you not get that data? There's a certain data that you're not allowed to get through Steam that you want, that you can only get through. Like, it's just a plethora of questions that come from it.
They don't have power unless you're in their ecosystem, and you're not in their ecosystem unless you've got a PSN account. As a
I'm
guy
just
who
saying.
just canceled his PSN account that he hasn't used in a year, let me tell you. Like,
Way to provide that data.
you know those beautiful little Spotify year-end review, Steam end review, PSN.
Yep.
Those aren't for you. Those are for fucking them. That's
Well,
not
yeah,
for
they're gonna use.
those things aren't for you guys. Those things are for the fucking people fucking pulling the strings and making the decisions. Like,
Here's the thing.
it's cool. It's cool that you've got hundreds of hours in Dave the Diver, but you know who really wants to know that? Fucking Dave the Diver's people and the PlayStation people, so they can be like, oh, we don't need to make Ghost of Tsushima 2. We just need to make some stupid little fucking indie game bullshit for you.
See, here's the thing though. If they actually were using that data, we wouldn't have all these shitty games. Just throwing that out there.
No, they're using it. They're just idiots.
Oh, Ubisoft for sure. They don't know what the fuck they're doing over there.
Oh no, you don't have it on here, but apparently the new one's getting announced tomorrow. And Kotaku in action is pissed.
Wait, what's getting announced tomorrow?
The new Assassin's Creed.
They just released one, didn't they?
They're announcing it tomorrow, and Kotaku in action's got the scoop. They've got the scoop.
You'll have to show me that after once I show you the Wii video.
They've got
Jesus.
the scoop. What's next? What's next?
Up next, XCOM and Marvel's Midnight Suns director forms new studio. This is The Gamer article written by Rhiannon Bevan.
Thanks, Rihanna.
Man, thanks, Rhiannon. We appreciate it. Yeah, so Jake Solomon, basically he's getting this company together, and they're going to be working on a real-life sim game.
So I think Jake Solomon actually did an interview that I wanted to read before the show, but I didn't get a chance to. But he talked about Marvel's Midnight Suns and how people perceived it, going against like the MCU and the current state of the MCU, how people perceive the card portions of the game. Yeah, I really want to read that because I think it'd be interesting. I think Firaxis does some awesome stuff. I really liked XCOM 2, even though I'm bad at it. Chimera Squad was pretty good, and they got that one in just under that one came out like a month before all the George Floyd protests, and that Chimera Squad is a very cop heavy game, so they got that one in. I don't want to say in the nick of time, but it would have been like Nintendo putting out Advance Wars the same day as the Ukraine.
I want to make it. I want to make a joke, but it'll be in bad taste. I'll save it for later.
You know what? Knowing you, save the jokes.
That's why I said I'll save it.
Yeah. Josh, anytime you think about making a joke, think about making silence instead. But no, I'm excited to see this. Making a sim. I wonder how, because they've done so much combat. So I just wonder how. What's the exact term they used here? They want to do a life sim game.
Sim.
So maybe like a life sim game, but you're like a cage fighter. That'd be awesome.
Well, seeing as they've done more, or at least they, as far as director, they've done more of a combat focused one. I would see maybe like a military almost life sim. Dictator 5.
I'm excited to see what they do because I think they've got some good noggins over there between all of them. Josh, this last one is just ridiculous. What is this?
I know. Halo composer running for Congress intends to win because he's a gamer. This is a Kotaku article written by Zach Zwiesen. Yeah, it's as ridiculous as it sounds, everybody.
Thank you for this great article. So this is Marty O'Donnell. He's the and it's the last good contribution Marty Boy made because now Marty's running for Congress and he thinks he's gonna make it because he's a gamer. He's going off of a bunch of your usual Republican rhetoric like the good old fashioned days, man. Let's see. Since he's done what you expect from a conservative, blaming all our problems on big government, undocumented immigrants, and a lack of old-fashioned family values. You know this guy, when he plays Halo 2, he skips over the Arbiter parts, right?
Yes.
He's like, I don't want to play as an illegal alien.
I'll compose for everything the Master Chief's in because he's white and he's proud, but nothing with the Arbiter.
Is Master Chief white?
Canonically, yes, he is white.
I just thought the appeal of Master Chief was that he could be anyone. But you know what? At the same time, Master Chief was exploited as a child. You know what? Yeah, Master Chief could still be anyone. Yep.
Yeah, he can still be anybody. It's...
Oh, no. Stop right now because I have to read this quote out loud.
Go ahead.
I'm a little bit Reagan. I'm a little bit rock and roll. I want to unload a Needler clip into this man right now.
No, we needed to dual wield Needler, hit the shit out of him.
You can't dual wield Needlers, Josh. It's not allowed.
You totally could in Halo 2. They took it out of Halo 3.
Halo 2 was 20 years ago, Josh.
Remake. It's on the Master Chief Collection. Get your shit together.
20 years ago. You haven't been able to dual wield a Needler for 20 years now. Let it go.
I guarantee you there's a mod somewhere that someone put into Halo 4 or 5 or even Infinite, and you can do it.
What's the brute version of the Needler? Is it the Spiker?
The one that has like the tusk at the end of it.
Yeah.
I think it's called the Spike or something.
The real crime in the Halo series is that you could never dual wield that with a Needler. That would be...
that would have been cool.
Because they kind of do the same thing.
Yeah, except the Brute's version doesn't follow. It doesn't explode.
It's got a little more kickback. It doesn't explode, but it's got a little more kickback. I think the shots are a little more powerful. Like each shot on its own. We're not playing Halo. I know we're talking about Halo. Hey, fuck you, Marty. You're not gonna... Gamers, man. I don't know if you've seen all the gamer news lately, but gamers aren't winning right now, man.
No, gamers are fucking losing left and right. The indie developers are doing fantastic.
They're
That's
doing
about
fine.
it.
Those are the real gamers.
Those are the real winners.
Marty, you lost the instant. Well, first of all, you've got this fucking Colonel Sanders ass looking fucking my mom's new boyfriend's goatee. Like, hold on, let me look at this thing. Let me zoom in on this motherfucker.
I'm sorry. The minute he said, I'm a little Reagan, makes me think, I am not a crook.
He looks like he's dating mom.
Yeah. No, he's not just dating her, Nick. He's fucking her.
Oh, God. Okay. Remember what I said about when you think about making a joke, make silence instead?
Oh, I could have made it 10 times worse.
All right. Man, this is a really long... Josh, you got a meme for us. Meme time.
Oh, I sure do have a meme.
All right, go ahead.
For everybody familiar, it's the infamous Family Guy scene of Asian women driving in America. And it starts with Sony 2 customers. We are proud to bring a selection of games to PC so more players can play them. And then it's her basically turning left, Sony turning left, hardcore, with Sony forcing players to sign into PSN. And if they don't, they are... it limits the player's ability to own the games or use features in it. And then you can see in the next scene, it's them causing a huge wreck with all the developers, Sucker Punch and Arrowhead Games, to be specific. And at the bottom, it's developers who publish with Sony dealing with the lashback, because they're not mad directly right now at Sony. They're mad at the developers who unfortunately have little to no control.
I do have to say this is your worst meme ever, Josh.
God damn it. I was really proud of it too.
This is a bad meme. First of all, you use a questionable Family Guy scene. Everybody's a bad driver. Everybody fucking sucks at driving. Second of all, when you have to explain it, when you have to fucking color by numbers explain it.
Okay, when I have my days that I'm good and my days that I'm bad, I will admit that it's not very tasteful. I didn't think about it until after I developed it.
This is and it's developed it. It's a fucking meme. You just fucking slapped words on it and slapped developed it.
I had to actually pull it scene by scene. Okay,
you make me fucking sick. You make me.
Hey,
I like the thought of it, that Sony taking a hard left turn and fucking causing a wreck, but this is sloppy, Josh. I expect better. I expect better at the next recording.
That's fair.
Or you're off the podcast. Like I said, or you're off the podcast.
Okay, that's fine with me.
What's that thing where it's like, if you never want to be asked to do something again, just do it really poorly?
Yes.
All right, we're going to end on a more positive note, because I know last week we were a little more moody and just ended the podcast without the music or the the slogan on the way out, and we just fucked off. We fucked off because we wanted everyone to fuck off at that point. So we're gonna end on a more positive note this week. We're gonna talk about stuff that we actually like that's going on in the game industry right now. I just think this will be a fun little way to shout out, developers or companies or things going on. Number one for me, and we don't have a certain amount that we're picking, so Josh, stop when you're ready to stop. I can go on forever though. I like the, we've been doing the show for, is it going to be 3 years this year?
Mm-hmm.
Shit. But in that 3 years, we've met a lot of great podcast hosts across other podcasts. And I think it's really cool when you get out of like the juggernauts of video gaming podcast and you hang out with like the little guys like us and everyone else. It's just cool, all the different people that have a video game podcast and do this weekly or bi-weekly or whatever, and all the different formats and all the different things you see going on and all the different things people are playing. I think that's really cool, and that's something I really like. This is a good time to shout out some of those shows. Shinobi's not on a show, but Black Shinobi, always awesome. I actually think he just welcomed a little Shinobi into his life. Got to check in on him.
Oh.
Overthinking podcast over there with Dempsey, Seth, and Katie. Why did I almost forget the person's name who's been on the show twice?
Yeah.
I'm not blanking on the name. I'm just trying to make sure I don't get the name wrong. It is the old switcheroo.
Yep.
The old switcheroo. Correct. Why am I blanking? I know their names. I know their names. Help me, Josh.
No, you said you got this.
You son of a bitch. It is JMO and Barbara and not Leaf Dog. Lobaka. That's why I do worse with screen names. I do a lot better when I have like someone's actual names. Alec and what's the other podcast? Alec and Marcus, right? From 321.
That one sounds right. I actually have to double check myself not because I don't remember, but because
Did you even join their shit, Josh?
I have not joined their Discord yet. No.
Son of a bitch.
It's on my list to do. It is on.
You son of a bitch.
You know what? I don't like the way you're talking to me, Nick.
You suck. I do think it is Marcus.
I think you're right, yeah.
Anyone's name who I butchered in this moment, I'm sorry. But I love all you. I appreciate all you. If I missed your show, I'm sorry. Just know that I do appreciate you. And the hard drive guys that have been on, Matt and Johnny. Okay, Josh, what do you like about gaming right now?
I like how players are finally starting to push back against the industry. It seems like for a long time we've always, it's always been like split down the middle. Like, hey, this game's fun because of this, but then the game's not fun because of this. But with this whole recent debacle with the PSN network. What's going on there, Nick?
No, that's me trying to get my camera to stop flickering.
I was like, are you telling me to stop? What's going on?
No, you're good. You're good. I was waiting. I wanted to hear how many times you signed the Stellar Blade petition.
I have my own clipboard designated to myself. I sign it every single hour on the hour.
You've been going out. You've been knocking on doors. But have you signed the Stellar Blade petition?
Oh, it's more of no, I won't go that far. I honestly just been signing it every single day. Okay, and I put different names on there.
Illegal.
They got to prove it. They've got to prove it. I did get my email from them though, from PSN, because I did I was like, I want a refund because the whole debacle.
Wait a minute, like, you refunded Stellar Blade?
Hold on, hear this out.
Josh, I was joking about the petition stuff. I didn't know you were actually red pilled.
No, will you let me finish now?
Go ahead.
So I read an article of like someone's like, oh yeah, a bunch of people have getting the refunds back because of what we didn't get, because apparently there's supposed to be a bunny costume that digital players can't get anymore because it's only available in the physical release of the game and it's only on version 1.0. So I put on there, I was like, oh, well, technically we were lied to, so it's false advertisement. And I was like, okay, let me try this. So I did it myself. And at the time, they're like, oh, we are doing this investigation. At this point, we can't do refunds. And I'm like, fuck this. I was like, whatever. I tried it.
You like the game.
I do. I wasn't upset. I was just like, I'm curious. I don't, because I always see those and I'm like, okay, I'm really curious if this actually works. And so I tried it and I got that. And I'm like, whatever. They sent me like an email like 2 weeks later and they're like, oh, by the way, we're not going to be refunding you. And it's like, okay, you guys already told me that. I don't give a shit. I was just curious because I always see these articles. And with this huge debacle, I want to try it. I've never done it before.
They're like, sir, you can't, sir, we can't, this digital copy is covered in jizz. We can't take this back. We can't.
You, goddamn it, you will.
We can't take this back.
It just reminds me of my days working at Kohl's. Oh
yeah. Oh, ooh. We might have to just have a you know what? Maybe after Goaty, so we'll have an episode where we just talk about like work nightmares. That'd be fun.
I don't miss those days.
A lot of jizz in the dressing rooms.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, and it wasn't just in the men's department either.
I don't. You know what? Save it. Save it for the next time. Save it for the next one.
Yeah, back to my point though. I'm very proud of the player base because they're pushing back and things. That's like, this is fucking ridiculous, guys. Get your shit together. Clearly the player base is not a priority to these huge AAA industries. It seems like the indie developers are just more there for us. They're listening to what's on brand and what the players want and communities. Now, are they spoon feeding us? Sometimes it kind of feels like they might be. But I'm proud of them for like going like, yeah, we're listening to our communities. We're trying to implement these changes or add these things. And the fact that they're not shoveling, pay to win moments or extra DLC that does, is more cosmetic. I'm happy about that because it's one of the things I'm tired of. Like, if you're hurting that bad, maybe you should look internally, see what the problems are, and maybe restructure. I don't know. I'm not an expert. I'm just throwing it out there.
Is it my turn again? Yes,
it's your turn. Yes, it's your turn.
I speaking of indie games, I really like where the indie scene is right now. It feels like every other day there's a new indie game that I hear about, and I'm like, oh, I have to play that. Like someone said something about Crow Country, this little like third person polygon, like PlayStation 1 polygon animated like horror game. Looks really cool. Animal Well looks really fucking cool. If you tell me it's a Dave that like if you say Nick, Animal Well is actually like a Dave the Diver situation, I'm just gonna throat punch you at this moment. I'm just gonna throat punch you. What else? There was a Crypt Master is another one that looks really good. Like just to see how fucking messy AAA is right now with, seeing successful or companies that we thought were successful just shuttering. And just kind of like, I don't want to get back into that because now just thinking about it's making me depressed. But the indie scene is where it's at, and Dave the Diver is carrying the torch. I'm such a shithead. Go ahead, Josh.
I'm happy that some of these games are being challenged finally. For example, Overwatch 2 is being challenged by Marvel's Overwatch clone. I don't remember the exact name for it.
Timeout. I hear that like streamers aren't allowed to talk negatively about it at all.
So, but that's a common thing in the industry, though. It's always been a common thing.
Still, though, that's like
shady. No, it's shady as fuck. Don't get me wrong.
Like what's the popular guy that everyone hates? Osmongold.
Yeah.
Like if he's like, oh, this character, so he should be able to say like, oh, this character sucks.
No, I agree 100%. But at the same time, like, this is not an uncommon thing. This happens all the time. But that's not even the problem. The problem is they get too compliant with where they're at. Overwatch 2, or just Overwatch in general. Like, the only competition they really had was Paladins, and that died so quickly. That's just no longer, or not really a thing anymore. So they had, like, they're basically unchecked. They do whatever they want. Same with Battlestate games for Escape from Tarkov. No competition in that genre. They fucked up so bad. They had 2 competitors come in and say, hey, we're releasing our shit. And now they're like, oh, fuck, how are we going to bring all these people back? Their first thought right now is, oh, we're going to wait until the wipe and then people are going to come back. That's true. There are people who are going to come back. However, they've lost a good chunk of their fan base because of what they're doing. And it's because they were unchecked. They're like, oh, if you're not a believer, fuck you. I don't give a shit. Now they can't really say that. Now they have to like be careful about what they do and say, because at any point they can lose more of their fan base and their game dies that much quicker.
I surprisingly really like right now where Nintendo is at with everything. I know Nintendo's that like weird Disney goofus that's like always like 10 steps behind in some instances, like with online and stuff. But I've been thinking of like back to the game. I've been thinking fondly back to the GameCube recently, and how many like oddball things they did on the GameCube. Like, sure, it wasn't like this crazy revolutionary thing like the Wii or the Switch, but like they were taking chances on their software. Like they're like, oh, first person Metroid, we'll do that. Oh, a weird little strategy game with plant guys, yeah, we'll do that. Oh, our Nintendo 64 Sims like that didn't take off with like animals and a raccoon collecting your house payment, we'll do that. And to just see that like pay off tenfold, like Pikmin 4 sold really well for them on the Switch. Animal Crossing is 4 years old now. Wow, it just turned 4, and that's one of their most popular titles. We haven't seen a new Metroid Prime, but just like to see these titles that were like new IP for them back on the GameCube thriving here. It's kind of got me excited for the Switch 2 and seeing what they're going to do, because we don't know what that lineup's going to be. And I'm just and I'm not a Nintendo bootlicker. They do a lot of shit wrong. Like their Splatoon multiplayer is messy, but you know what? Even though it's messy, they still made themselves a niche little corner with Splatoon, and they fuck around with a bunch of people just trying to like build community around their stuff, and yeah, they shut down what was that, a zoo or whatever it was.
Yuzu, yeah.
They shut down Yuzu, but Yuzu was like fucking shooting a flare gun, saying yo yo yo, look what we got, yo yo, give us some money for it. But Yuzu had it fucking coming by doing that. Yeah, I really, and you know what? Switch the Steam Deck is eating the Switch's lunch kind of a little bit on the indie front, because now that's where people go for indies. But now it's just got me thinking like, oh, what the fuck is what's Nintendo gonna do? What's Nintendo going to do? And
I mean,
just excited to see that.
They're definitely doing something. I was at Best Buy the other day, and guess what was advertised almost everywhere from the entrance of the store all the way back to the electronics area?
Stellar Blade.
No, it was all Nintendo Switch.
Hmm.
So I was like, okay, that's right. And it was almost like not similar, but you know how Target is with their advertising. There was pretty much the same setup there with them. So it's like it definitely something is. Obviously, we know the Switch 2 is coming, and they're trying to clear out their inventory so they can make not only room for it, but make their money back for all the Switches that they have in stock. But it's about time. Time has come.
All right, Josh, one more to finish it out.
One more. For once, I support what Apple is doing with their gaming stuff. Mainly supporting emulators onto their products.
Okay.
Honestly, Yuzu had a hard enough time challenging Nintendo because they're obviously very small, niche, and all that. Apple took down Epic, and they said, someone said, "Hey, you think you can fight Nintendo?" And Apple said, "Hold my beer." Because let's be honest, when you hear about a retro emulator, you're not thinking of PlayStation. You're not thinking of Xbox. You're thinking of Nintendo. More specifically, Game Boy Advance, Super Nintendo maybe, GameCube for sure. Like you can think of all these, stuff that, Nintendo's like, oh, we're not going to let you do any of that shit. And I love it. Like the fact that like, yeah, go ahead, release all of these onto our phones. So now not only will they stand a better chance against Android, because that's one reason why people stick with Android is because you have the third-party apps that you can use all the time. But now they're telling Nintendo, what are you going to do about it?
Nintendo's coming for their asses, Josh. Let me tell you.
And Apple's like, do it. You might be old, but guess what, bitch? We got more money.
You said that last one just in opposition to me. Fuck you. You know what? I said I wasn't licking Nintendo's boots. I'm fucking licking Nintendo's boots now.
You licked their boots. They can shut down Yuzu all they want, but guess what? Apple's gonna fucking sit there and go. I just think it's the South Park scene where Randy's getting ready to fight one of the play riders, and they're like they do the shirts off. They're like, "What are you gonna do about it, bro? What are you gonna do about it, bro?"
Nintendo's gonna sue Apple so hard that they get Steve Jobs' corpse. I don't even know if he's still a corpse or if he's ashes. I don't know.
He's cryogenically frozen right next to Walt Disney.
Well, it's a good thing he's wearing a turtleneck because it's chilly.
He's
it's
cold.
Chilly.
He's cold.
It's chilly. All right. Well, hey, that's what we're liking about the video game industry. It's a little all over the place, but yeah. Hey, we made it through the show. Guys, you can find me on Twitter at that Kaufman, Twitch and YouTube at Nick Fat Knight. I'm actually gonna be hopping on there after I edit this episode and get it all ready to go. Josh, where can people find you?
You can find me anywhere and everywhere at I'm Josh Saying.
There we go. And you can find Smashing Game Time anywhere you get your podcast: Apple, Spotify, Google Podcast, YouTube Podcast, and YouTube proper. Fuck the algorithm, tell a friend. That's right. We don't give a fuck about no algorithms here. We don't like no algorithms. I was going to go into a whole TLC thing, but I'm not going to do it here. Thank you to Alex Marvin Clark for our intro and outro song, Hunt Him Down. We also have a website, smashinggametime.com. You can find the podcast there. You can also find things that we write. I'm going to get back to writing over there. Hold me to it. It's going to happen. I'm clearing out. I have a table read coming up here in St. Louis, so I'm going to get that going out of the way, and then we'll be back to the writing. Yeah, I think that's everything, right, Josh? I didn't miss anything.
No, I think you all are good.
I got it all. Well, hey, everybody, that's been Smashing Game Time. I hope you all had a smashing great time. We'll see each and every one of you next time.